Autism is only a disability because we live in a society that has labeled it as
I
such.
want to make a series on the social model of disability versus the medical model, but I'm realizing it's going to branch in a million different directions like a video essay, except it'll be in a bunch of little consumable parts. In the meantime, I want to respond to this video because it's coming from a compassionate and thoughtful place, and I appreciate and respect that. So don't go sending hate to the original creator. Even if I hated her, I don't want you to go send hate. I don't though. But I think that this creator's video perfectly exemplifies how looking at disability through the medical model versus the social model stunts or like restricts your creative thinking in ways that we can help disabled people. Definitely go watch her video, but to summarize. But basically she said the idea that society disables us, it isn't our impairments and our conditions that disable us. She said that this is bigoted and harmful against high support needs autistics. This is a hot button issue in the autism community right now. And there is a battle ideologically going on between the medical model of disability and the social model, between disabled people and non-disabled autism advocates. Obviously, there's people on both sides. I'm not saying it's just this group versus just that group. She said that this idea is harmful because of like level 3 support needs or nonverbal autistics who have caregivers and will always have caregivers who are usually at home and therefore not exposed to like society's disabling or whatever, not exposed to inaccessibility. She was claiming that the social model of disability leaves them out. Like I said, this is because she's looking at disability through the medical model. Medical model is traditional. It basically says that your disability is what disables you. The reason you can't go out and socialize as a nonverbal, high support needs autistic is because of your autism. Social model says, why are you at home all the time with your caregiver? Are we even going to ask that question? The fact that we're not asking it shows how limiting the medical model truly is. Why can a high support needs autistic not go out and socialize? Well, you might say, oh, well, maybe they're nonverbal. They're communication devices. They're communication tools. Why can they not just go out and communicate with those tools? Oh, well, people won't want to. Other people will be less likely to interact with them because they're using non-traditional communication methods. Most people are going to think it's weird if you're communicating with an iPad or body language. Most people don't know how to communicate outside of ways that are normal. So notice that already we're getting to other people being the problem. Let's say the high support needs autistic isn't nonverbal though. Say it's the sensory overload. Oh, well, what am I gonna do? Go to a party, go to the park, like there's sensory issues. I can't handle the heat, I can't handle the light, I can't handle the sound, whatever it is. Autism is disabling me because of the sensory needs. Well, hold on. Why are there no spaces for socializing in an autistic way? Why are there no easily and affordably accessible socializing spaces that accommodate sensory needs? Oh, the fact that that question isn't even being asked shows how limiting, how restraining, how confining the medical model of disability is. What if there were autism parks where there was shade over the whole thing? What if they were indoor, so there's air conditioning and the lighting can be controlled? What if it was mood lighting with the playground and gentle music, or silence, or pink noise? An indoor playground with mood lighting and pink noise. You know that can exist, right? That's not even that hard. Why are there not autism parks? Because society doesn't give a fuck about autistic people. That's why there aren't. Okay, his toy just started going on its own. I don't like that. Spooky, spooky. Anyways. Society doesn't care about autistic people. That's why there aren't autism parks for autistic children, even though 1 in 36 kids is autistic. Not just kids, adults, people of all ages, elderly. I love that Walmart has like sensory hours, but it's like really early in the morning, and at certain locations it's only like certain days of the week that they do it. I appreciate that accommodation. That's not truly accessible though. What if every major grocery chain had a little side section, like they have a gardening area, except, instead of that, it was a mini version of the store with lower lighting and or even just this. What if every store was required to offer headphones, glasses, like sensory accommodation tools. Or, like I said, a more sensory friendly area that is open to the public all the same hours as like the regular area. What if that was an option? When we look at disability through the lens of the medical model says that your impairment, your condition is inherently the problem, and the only way to truly solve it is a cure. Ultimately, that is the ultimate solution to the problem of disability, is curing all disability. But some people who are autistic, deaf, blind, in wheelchairs, paralyzed even, some people don't want cures. As offensive as that might be to you, there are many people across all kinds of disabilities who do not want to be cured. And the medical model tells us that our desire to exist in the way that God made us, whether through birth or through, later on in life becoming disabled, the medical model tells us that we are not allowed that choice. We are not allowed to have an able, functioning life unless we prioritize a cure like they do. The social model of disability puts the well-being, the needs, the perspectives of the disabled first and foremost. The first most important thing we need for all people in the disabled communities is accessibility, universal accessibility, everywhere that is public, or, a private grocery store, but that's public. Everyone needs to go grocery shopping. You know what I mean? But some people, just like some people don't want to be cured of their disability, others do. Others do. And that is equally as valid. So actually, the social model equally prioritizes a cure with accessibility and accommodation for all levels of support needs, not just for autistics, but all kinds of disabled people across everything. Because empowering the disabled means giving us a choice. You should have the choice to a cure if it's possible, and you should have the choice to live comfortably and ably without a cure. You have inherent value either way. You are equally valuable and important and worthy of a good life either way. The social model is the only model of disability between the two which actually prioritizes the freedom and the choice of disabled people. It's the medical model which says we are going to prioritize a cure, and that needs to be first and foremost, and most of the funding for autism is going to go to a cure, genetic research, and, fuck the fact that there's almost no resources for autistic adults, screw you. We're going to prioritize a cure. That's what the medical model says about autism and disability. It says if you don't want to be cured of disability, it's because you're a harm to the disability community. It treats us like children who are unworthy of thinking for ourselves, and we need to let other people tell us what we want and what we need. The only true empowering model of disability is the social model. So when you say that the social model leaves high support needs, level 3 autistics out, it is because you are so entrenched in the medical model of disability, which I don't blame you and I'm not looking down on you. You're so entrenched in this model of disability that you cannot even fathom a world which creates social spaces for autistics. The reason level 3 support needs and nonverbal autistics are stuck at home with their caregivers or alone is because society doesn't give a fuck about us. It's because society refuses to make space for us in the world. Making autism parks would not be difficult. Making third spaces for everyone would not be difficult. In fact, I bet there's a lot of non-autistic kids who would love playing at the autism playground. Tell me that doesn't sound lit. Find solutions that have never existed before for autistics and the disabled. We have to think completely outside the box and come up with completely brand new ideas. And the medical model of disability is elderly, to put it politely. It is significantly outdated. It's time to think outside that box. It served its purpose in history and it did a great job, and now we're progressing, and that's a good thing. That's not bad. That's better for autistic people, especially and including level 3 autistics, high support needs autistics, nonverbal autistics. God bless.